everyone. We are 2 minutes away. Evening, everyone, and welcome to the 24th meeting of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland. The time is now 6 p.m. and I call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Mills,
Here.
Councilman Cole,
Here.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Simmons,
Here.
President Clerk,
Here.
Mayor Sidler.
Here.
You have a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you. Moving to agenda item number 3, the approval of the minutes from our December 9th, 2024 meeting. I hope that everyone had the opportunity to review the recent minutes, and if there are no suggested edits or objections, I will now entertain a motion to approve said minutes.
Madam President, I move to motion to approve the minutes.
Madam Clerk, I have a motion. I have a second.
Madam Clerk, I'll second. Or Madam President, I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Cole,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
President Clerk.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving to agenda item number 4, the report of the Mayor and City Council. This evening, we will begin with Councilwoman Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable holiday season. Seems like we haven't been together in a minute, but hope all has been well. Just briefly wanted to share that since our last meeting, it's December 23rd, I participated in the City of Laurel's Kwanzaa celebration. And then had time to enjoy with my family, time off for the holidays. That's always a good thing. And so moving forward, January the 16th, we'll attend the Laurel High School College Career and Community Resource Fair. January the 17th, I'm looking forward to coming to City Hall to see the wreath laying in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. January the 18th, we'll attend the City of Laurel Health Fair. January the 19th, we'll attend the Laurel Historical Society Volunteer Appreciation Event. And lastly, on the 19th, we'll participate in the City of Laurel's Martin Luther King Day of Service. So next couple of days will be quite busy. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Johnson. Next, we have Councilmember Jeffrey Mills.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start with saying that we had a beautiful December and moving into January January 2025. Let me backtrack. December 28th, it was so close to 2025. We had a cleanup right here on West Side Boulevard. We cleaned up the from top to bottom, the streets from top to bottom, and then into 2025, there was, well, we're going to have, again, as Councilwoman Johnson said, January 16th, the Laurel High School College and Career Day. I'm going to try to attend that partially because I have also that same day at 7 p.m. I have a public safety and transportation committee meeting, and so that is going to be 7 p.m. That's 7 p.m. at the Municipal Center, room 2, and all are welcome to attend. I look forward in meeting with those who are a part of this committee, and we have some issues that would definitely like to be worked out as far as safety and transportation for the city of Laurel. And I think I want to try and bring back the idea of the ring cameras, creating that dome of protection within our city. And there is a Juneteenth committee meeting that is going to be January 15th. That is virtual. We are looking for volunteers for that committee as well. We have a lot of work to do. And just for the public's awareness, if you are interested of joining any committee, volunteering for the city, please come on up to the city hall or just reach out to Miss Corrine, I'm sorry. And that would be, also, the last thing is just being mindful of there was a firefighter. I didn't get his name, but he collapsed. He was a Montgomery County firefighter that was fighting the fire right here in the city of Laurel, in Laurel, and my condolences go out to his family. We have to. That's going to be it, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Mills. Next, we have Councilmember Adrian Simmons.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, it has been a minute since we've last been together, as Councilwoman Johnson said. I want to wish a happy snow week. I love the snow. I know it's a burden for those who have to be out shoveling it. But to me, it's like magic falling from heaven. I was scheduled to be out of town last week with family and sort of barely made it out before the snow. But I was just talking with a team, a member of the city team earlier, and it brought back a lot of memories, sledding on the James H. Harrison Hill. And I heard that the hospital hill was in good use this go around as well. So thank you to our teams at the Office of Emergency Management and DPW for keeping us safe and helping clear up the roads. I know it is a big effort, and appreciate also the extra patience that all the residents we exercise with each other. I really feel like events like this too sort of help us bring out a little bit more generous nature, help that person next door shovel their driveway, stop for the person crossing the crosswalk, just take that extra moment. So it's good opportunities for that type of thing. A little bit of a throwback into the Christmas season. I wanted to highlight something that happened in Old Town Laurel, where there were some families that got together to do some caroling and start going door to door. Actually, I think there was even 100+ people out in 2 different groups. And I want to give a shout out to those folks and just say that's it's an awesome part of the community, we have. And if anybody out there loves carols, please encourage maybe next year something to get your family or maybe a couple friends together and do that for your neighborhood and your streets. January 1, a friend of mine put me onto this a few years back. Some of you may be aware, is a first day hike where state parks and national parks are sort of open for people to go out and just sort of start off the year with on the right foot, getting some fresh air. And so we've been doing that as a family the last couple of years. I went to Ducks and Wildlife Refuge this year in January 1, and a lot of fun. If you're interested to learn more, you can visit my site, adrianforlaurel.org, just for links. And if those participating parks can get stickers and things like that. So just a great tradition, something to maybe think about doing on January 1 next year. A couple small things to highlight, and then I'll turn it back over. January 9th, some folks may have seen the city recognized as Marcus Colbert Day. And I know the memory of that sort of sticks with me from when our city sort of went through that. Certainly condolences to his family, but also a celebration of his life. And anytime I'm behind a DPW truck or other ones, slow down, go around, I just think about that, and it helps put me in a good space to be more patient and say, okay, hey, let them do what they got to do. Let's keep everybody safe. So just a reminder of that, a beautiful memory. And his sister actually released a book last month that was profiled in the Laurel Independent paper. I encourage folks to check that out. Definitely also want to give a shout out to Laurel High School's college, career, and community resource fair, as we mentioned, coming up. Applauding the efforts of Mrs. Rachel Mitchell there for the planning at what I'm hoping is maybe a first annual event. Some great energy, some great enthusiasm. I played a super small role. I was part of the education committee. I know the committee chairwoman, Gonzales-Jackson, as well as now the education advisory committee member, President Clerk, have really helped that process, encourage folks to check that out. Two small things. One, folks are going to see in the mail soon the fact that our PG County is doing elections for the county executive role, since previous county executive Angela Alsobrooks is now senators. So keep an eye out for that voting in the mail. And also you can go to Streetcar Suburb News for coverage of all the different candidates. And last thing, I will be in Annapolis this Thursday, meeting with some of our state delegation on behalf of my other hat with business as a CPA and other business owners. So looking forward to that. This is a good year for residents to really be tracking what goes on in Annapolis. The governor is expected to introduce his budget on Friday. He's already announced there's going to be $2 billion in cuts and move around. So we're certainly monitoring it on the city side, but residents, I encourage you, because there's things that are going to affect you and what happens in this year's legislation at the state level. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, Madam President. Back to you.
Thank you, Councilmember Simmons. Next, we have Councilmember Cole.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam President. I want to echo everyone's sentiments that it was nice to have the annual holiday break through the month of December. There were a lot of city events. I think I managed to attend most, including the mayor's volunteer holiday reception, Wreaths Across America, Santa with a Badge, and the city's Kwanzaa event. While we were still in December, I held a Laurel Pride Day Planning Committee meeting on December 18th. We were discussing ideas for the upcoming Pride celebration in October 2025. I was also happy to attend the first annual Lars Holiday Light Walk through Old Town. It was really nice to get together for hot chocolate, walk through the neighborhood, see your neighbors. It was very cold, but everybody dressed warm and everyone was in good spirits. Currently going forward, I am working on just reviewing what we have as a city for legislation and stuff, as Mr. Simmons said, that is in Annapolis. Currently, I've been approached for support on the Maryland bottle bill. Some of the state senators and delegates have introduced that. Looking for support from Laurel. Once I have more information on that, I'll bring that to my colleagues. Today, I also spoke with representatives from the Department of Natural Resources. The state has completed their guidelines for forest conservation for the technical manual, but they have not completed the model ordinance. Our deadline for updating our forest conservation ordinance is by July 1st of this year. For the National League of Cities, I serve on the Finance, Administration, and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee. National League of Cities has asked that municipal governments upload all of our projects that have been completed using municipal bonds. For those that may not be aware, the federal government is looking to change how municipal bonds are taxed, or interest that may not be taxed. These are very important to us at municipal government. So when we're able to put in all the projects that we have completed over the last 10 years with municipal bonds, including Van Dusen Road improvements, some of the buildings that we've worked on. It really helps to show what municipal government does to our federal leaders. I want to thank all the people in BAPS that have helped get me that information, and through Parks and Recreation for their big help. Some of the projects weren't really clear when they came over, and they were able to update me with exactly what happened on those projects. So thank you for that. It's been mentioned, we did get through the third largest snowstorm in the last decade this past week. I apologize that I was not able to attend the work session, but I did want to thank all of our people from Department of Public Works, Parks and Recreation, and the police department that were out there keeping us going. My snow removal priorities lie in DC with my professional job. DC did not do a great job staying up on residential neighborhoods, and neither did the county. There were failures at many levels, but I was pleased to come home to Laurel and see that our roads were clear and we were able to get everywhere. And with all that, we did not interrupt trash service. Keeping those on schedule for a lot of people really means a lot. There were a lot of long hours out there, and it was bitterly cold on Tuesday. So I just want to thank all of those employees that were out there working to make sure that we stayed open as a government. Finally, before I close my statements for tonight, I wanted to announce that the next meeting of the Laurel Pride Day Planning Committee is going to be January 29th at 6 p.m. virtually. And I am working with Economic and Community Development to set a date for a February meeting of the Environmental Affairs Committee. That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Cole. For my report this evening, December was a great time to spend with our family, friends, to attend city events, and to attend events in other local municipalities. I attended a lot of the events mentioned by my colleagues. Would first like to say that my thoughts and prayers are with the Montgomery County Fair and Rescue family on the tragic loss of one of their own while heroically serving the community. I also want to extend my prayers to the greater Los Angeles, California community. I know it's a tough time right now, but we are praying for you. I also want to thank our DPW team, also our emergency personnel and our city staff for, as everyone said, keeping our roads clean. Traveled around to many of the city locations, and I know it was very tough for them to get the ice off the streets, but our teams did it with pride, and so proud to say that we live in Laurel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I say it all the time on social, but I just want to say it again. December 11th, I attended the County Council Chair Jolene Ivy Senior's virtual town hall, where she shared her vision of important county issues that impact our senior and aging population. December 12th, I also attended the Laurel Tiers Board meeting with the residents, board, and other community members. A big thank you to the Laurel Tiers Board for their hard work, along with Mayor Sidnor, our city staff, fellow council members, and local elected officials for your collaboration efforts on ensuring that our community members did not have to leave their homes. We accomplished so much when we worked together. On December 23rd, I attended the Laurel Fire Department and Laurel Volunteer Rescue Squad's 10th annual Fill a Truck, where I had the opportunity to literally be Santa's helper with our local police department, fire department members, EMS, and more. It was a heartwarming time, even though it was very cold outside, delivering gifts to the homes of Laurel families and children. If you want to donate in the future, please contact Clyde Williams at 301-346-1839. A huge thank you to our rescue personnel for everything that you do. As Councilwoman Johnson and my fellow colleagues shared about the Laurel High School Career Day, it's been a pleasure consistently working with our professional school counselors there, as well as Principal Dinkins, to host this event this Thursday. This is our future and our youth, so come out, and even if you're there just to mentor or support, we hope to see you there. As a reminder, you may have seen the message released yesterday, but WSSC Water is urging Montgomery County and Prince George's counties to only use water for essential purposes effective immediately. The water is safe and there is no reason to boil your water at this time, but remember to please report any water main breaks or leaks, and you can also do this with their water mobile app. For any more detailed information that you need, I also have this press release on my social media at Kyla Clark for Laurel. Also, I would like to remind you to save the date for our annual Black History program, which will be held on Saturday, February 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. at our CREM AMO Multi-Service Center near the Home Depot. We will be posting promotions soon, and local vendors are always welcome to join our event. Feel free to email me if you're interested. And last but not least, I just want to say congratulations to our commanders and to our Ravens teams. We are so proud that you are winning, and we have something even more to shout for. So thank you. That now concludes my report. Mayor Sidnor, I now open the floor to you.
Thank you, Council President Clark. Good evening, everyone. Once again, I pay my condolences as well to Montgomery firefighter who lost his life in line of duty. Also, I pay our condolences to Andrew Kyla from DPW for the passing of his brother, and also condolences to Daryl Rutherford for the passing of his uncle. And also condolences to Nettie Strokes of a Lower Multi-Service Board member, the passing of her husband. So our condolences and prayers go out to all those individuals who lost their loved ones. December 10th, I attended the Prince George County County Forum. That's the apprenticeship program. We've been working with Prince George County public school system with the CT program. We actually got 3 positions here in the city of Laurel, 1 in DPW, 1 in Department of Communication, and 1 in IT. One of the students right now is working in the Department of IT, and the 2 other positions will be filled this year coming up. So that program is for kids in high school going through the CT program, designed to get 450 hours of work experience and getting paid $15 an hour. The transition is for them to get ready from high school and going to the workforce, or when they go into college, they have some experience in college working in that field. The COG Council of Government Awards reception attended on December 11th. Also, the Mayor Holiday Party for all our volunteers came out as well. It was on the 13th. Reef Across America, another important event. We pay our homage to those individuals, veterans who served our country. Did that on December 14th. Also, December 16th, I attended Bernadette holiday party. Bernadette is Miss Nash, Miss Carol Nash, organized that organization several years ago. This was teenagers, at-risk teenagers here in the city of Laurel, surrounding area. Just giving back to them in a positive way, teaching them how to become positive young women as they get older. December 19th, we attended the Prince George County Municipal Government meet and greet, pretty much holiday party. And on December 21st was a good event. I'm a member of the 100 Black Men. Let me back up for a second. On December 16th, the 100 Black Men of Prince George County had our annual gala. And we raised money to support and mentor young men and women inside Prince George County. And on December 21st, we was able to take 40 mentees up to New York to see a Broadway play. Alicia Keys, Hell's on Kitchen. So those young men got a chance and young women got a chance to go to New York City for one day. We shopped a little bit, and we ended up seeing a Broadway play. Always trying to get back to our young people, give them exposure so they can see things like that. So that was very proud to do that for our young people here. December 28th, we had our first official Kwanzaa celebration. I did a Kwanzaa celebration back in 2017 when I first got elected city councilman at the Laurel Lake Senior Citizen apartment building. But this was the official one sponsored by the city. And we had Will Burner, associate, Dr. Will Burner, her husband, Mayor, helped us out with that. They organized that, so looking forward to many events from them too as well. First snow event, like everyone say, all our departments, I don't want to name or miss anybody, but all the departments work very well to get this done, from social media posting to IT and the AOC. Everyone, it was all hands on deck from department heads. So I want to say the leadership team, led by City Administrator Pulley and Deputy Administrator Joanne Barr. You guys show great leadership with the team, and so thank you all for doing that. And if we have another one, I know the City of Laurel will be prepared to handle that. Opening session was January the 8th. I had the opportunity to go to the Senate and sit on the floor next to Senator Roosevelt. That was a historical moment for me. I was like, to see, never did that before in my life. I've been to the Senate one time before, and I was in the gallery, but I was actually on the floor when they was actually opening the session. It was great. And after that, Senator Roosevelt and I had lunch, and we talked about a lot of things, like you said, about the budget coming up, and explain a lot of things, why the budget is the way it is. But we're going to get through it. And so we still want to, make sure the City of Laurel try to get what we need to be successful in District 21. January the 12th, the Howard County Alpha Foundation, I had their 50th annual Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. That's another event that the Alphas from Howard County raised money for sending kids to college. So anything we're doing positive for our young folks, we always got to support that. So I support that yesterday. A couple of announcements coming up, as you already announced already. January the 17th, the land of the Martin Luther King Jr. ceremony wreath here outside the front of City Hall. I won't be there. I'll be attending the conference, the U.S. Conference of Mayors. So I think President Clark, if you didn't get that announcement, I will give you an email later today, and you can stand in for me to lead that ceremony as well. And close January 20th, our annual day of service, sponsor, actually not sponsor, but give Councilman Johnson, when she was a city employee, she started this and continued to have this ceremony going on. So that'd be January 20th here in City Hall from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And also Kareem Kovac is actually leading the ceremony as well. So thank you, Councilman Johnson, for bringing the initiative. It was something we continue to do. The proclamation that we already mentioned already, Marcus Cobra Day, Councilman Mills was very inspirational in getting that proclamation signed and done, put in. I signed it, and his family was very appreciative of it. They made phone calls here at the City Hall thanking us for acknowledging Marcus Cobra, and we've seen some very positive messages on social media as well. Human Traffic Wellness Day is January 11th. I'm not going to read those proclamations, but they post on our social media team. And Madam President, I don't know if you want me to wait for the appointments. I don't have the agenda in front of me, but just let me know how you want me to proceed with the appointments.
Yes, Mayor Sidner, I see that you do have 8 appointments. If you'd like to continue, that's perfectly fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, as you know, the master plan is come every 10 years, and this year we start working on master plan 2026 to 2036, and we got to work on it right now. So we got some individuals that I send their resumes to the council. These individuals some of them are senior council members, former council members, a lot of work experience in the field, passionate about our city. Each councilman got a chance to look and view their resume. And so the individuals are the Honorable Rick Wilson, the Honorable Fred Smalls, Garrett Jackson, Maria Gonzales-Jackson, Kevin Burns, Ursula Gnan, Sophady Uong, and Stephen Slaughter. So these individuals, like you said, council members, I send you their resume. They're a good fit for our city. They was handpicked by me and handpicked by some of the council members who recommend them as well. So I ask for your confirmation.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. I hope everyone had the opportunity to review those resumes. May I have a motion from the council to approve the 8 appointments mentioned for the Master Plan Committee? Oh, I'm sorry. Councilmember Simmons, do you have a question? I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, first of all, thank you, Mayor Sidner. Definitely a great team that you've assembled here. Just for my own clarification, I think the committee called for 10. Are there 2 more that we should be looking for, or?
No, the committee doesn't call for 10, sir. We have 9.
Okay. I was just double checking. And sorry I didn't get a chance to ask you that beforehand. I was real busy today. But thanks. But wonderful team that we've got together here. Thank you for the hard work.
Are you, okay, perfect. Are there any additional questions from the council members? No?
Madam President, I would
Yeah.
like to move that we accept the nominations to the Master Plan Committee as presented by the mayor.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion, Madam Clerk. I think I heard a second from Councilwoman Johnson. Was that?
It's Adrian.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I looked at the screen. Thank you, Councilmember Simmons. Madam Clerk, would you like to take the roll?
Councilman Cole,
Yes.
Councilman Simmons,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Clark.
Yes, and my vote is just to ensure that we have community members with diverse perspectives and experiences. Thank you.
Motion carried.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of our new committee members. For agenda item number 6 is our general public hearing. This is the time to hear from you, our community. Your voice matters, and we value your input. We encourage you to share your thoughts, concerns, and ideas with us, as they are essential to shaping our work and our city's future. Madam Clerk, is there anyone signed up to speak today?
No, Madam President, we don't have anyone signed up.
Thank you. Seeing that there are no speakers signed up to speak today, I will open the general public hearing at 6:27 p.m. and close the general public hearing at 6:27 p.m. Moving to agenda item number 7 is the introduction, first public hearing on Charter Amendment number 180, a charter resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, amending Article 400, Administration of the Charter of the City of Laurel to reflect the dissolution of the Department of Community Resources and Emergency Management CREM and the establishment of two new departments, the Department of Human Services and Emergency Management, and amending Section 469 to reflect Director of the Department of Emergency Management and add Section 470, Director of the Department of Human Services. Mayor Sidnor, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. The administration and I reviewed the operation of the Department of Community Resource and Emergency Management and recognized the need to enhance efficiency and the scope of city services to better service residents, and therefore determined it would be in the best interest to dissolve the Department of Community Resources CREM and create two separate departments, Emergency Management and Human Services. The Human Services Department will manage the Craig A. Mo Laurel Multi-Service Center, Laurel Helping Hands, and other social programs for the city of Laurel. The Department of Emergency Management will be responsible for emergency management, preparation, response, mitigation, and other emergency operations for the city of Laurel. The administration I propose for creating two separate departments to allow the activities and responsibilities of each to be better monitored and supervised. The creation of these two separate departments allow for enhanced security, confidential records, and lines of communication to be more effectively supported, all which allows to make the city better service residents. The emergency manager will be the emergency manager, director, and assistant director. That will make up that department. The Department of Human Services would be the director, program operation manager, assistant program manager, assistant administrative assistant 2, a clinical supervisor, a Spanish-speaking clinical counselor. So there's 8 people in the CREM department right now, and 2 people go to, like I said earlier, 2 people go to the emergency management department, and the 6 individuals go into the human service department. There will not be an increase in the budget for FY 2026. There will not be a deputy director for the human service department. Eventually, the director of the Craig A. Multi-Service Center will be brought to a director, pending the council approval. That concludes my report. I stand by for any questions council has.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. Are there any questions from the council? I know that everyone had an ability to submit some questions and also receive some answers, but do you have any additional questions? I don't see any additional questions.
Madam President, I don't have any questions. I do have some comments on this. I know I missed the work session last week.
Absolutely.
So I've seen everything. I have received answers. Thank you, everyone who has given those to me. I am still concerned, not just about fiscal year 26, but future years, creating a new department. Knowing everything that's happening at the state and county level, I have hesitation to create a new department that may someday require additional tax resources. These were, when we voted on this in March of 2023 to create CREM through ordinance or through Charter Resolution number 177, the goal was to take them out of Parks and Rec and the city administrator's office and put them together so that they wouldn't have to have 2 separate departments. They'd be together. A lot of what is done in human services and emergency management, the same resources overlap. So it was so that the 2 departments that might be proposed won't overlap and conflict with each other. So I do have some reservations on that. I do plan on meeting with the mayor on those, talking about it further, but right now I just wanted to express those concerns. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Cole. Are there any additional questions or comments? No? Seeing that there are no additional questions or comments, Madam Clerk, can you please confirm if anyone is signed up to speak on agenda item number 7 today?
We don't have anyone signed up, Madam President.
Thank you. Seeing that there are no speakers signed up, I will open the public hearing at 6:31 p.m. and close the public hearing at 6:31 p.m. This item will be moved to the second public hearing with possible action, which will be held on January 27th at our in-person meeting at 6 p.m. Moving to agenda item number 8 is the introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 036, an ordinance amending the general operating budget and capital improvement program for the fiscal year July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, and providing an effective date. Director Michelle Saylor, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President, council members, Mayor Sidnor. As I presented at the January work session on January 6th, excuse me. Ordinance 2036 adds $200,000 to the general operating budget through the allocation of funds from our unassigned fund balance, with a corresponding expenditure of a general operating budget transfer to the CIP. Within the expenditure section of the budget, there's a reduction in principal and interest due to the final tabulations and calculations of our debt service from the 2024 Local Government Infrastructure Financing Program that you approved in February of 2024 and subsequently went to settlement in May. The total general operating transfer then is $511,789. Within the CIP, we are reallocating $60,000 of information technology project funds that were funded by ARPA because we've been able to move the website project to a different category of the ARPA funds. We are also taking $37,000 from the Public Works project, which is also ARPA funded. There was an initial funding for the storm drain grates and trash collection, and those funds will be sufficient to complete the project. I always work with the department heads anytime we make changes to their project. So the overall addition and creation of the 7701 Sandy Spring Road project is $608,789. And this will include the purchase price and some of the initial improvements explained to you by Mr. Bailey from Parks and Recreation, as far as fencing, lighting, security, and some of those items that he can take on once we acquire the property. That's all I have, Madam President, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Director Taylor. Are there any questions or comments from the council? All right, seeing none. Madam Clerk, can you please confirm that there are no speakers signed up for this agenda item?
There's no one signed up, Madam President.
Thank you. In that case, I will open the public hearing at 6:35 p.m. and close the public hearing, general public hearing at 6:35 p.m. This item will be moved to the second public hearing with possible action on this item for our January 27th meeting at 6 p.m. Moving to agenda item number 9 is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 1-2025, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to rename and expand the scope of the Citizens Advisory Committee for Persons with Disabilities. Councilmember Adrian Simmons and Councilmember Christine Johnson, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. And just a recap, the 32nd version from our work session last week, as the then chair of the Citizens Advisory Committee for Persons with Disability, I was working on updating the organizing resolution to allow for membership for those who have sort of deep ties to the city of Laurel, whether they're connected to a nonprofit that's in the city limits, or business that's in the city limits, or have other sort of deep ties that we can avail of their expertise on that committee. And in the process, Councilwoman Johnson reached out to also suggest it could be an opportunity for expanding the scope to really provide a point of contact for those senior citizens, and I'll let her sort of speak to that.
Thank you, Councilman Simmons. But just like you were saying, since you were the current chair at the time, reached out to you needs of the committee, but also spoke with Mayor Sidnor and City Clerk about, the interest that I felt like we were could assist the citizens age 55 and older, and felt that this would be a good synergy because although the needs are not totally the same, they do have some similar needs, but then we would also meet the needs of the population age 55 and older. So I just wanted to make sure that they were represented and not have to create a whole new committee, but we would have to find, brand new committee members. So kind of re-energize a current committee, but also expand the scope to include residents that can use some additional resources. Thank you.
And if I can just add, President Clark, we also did receive some suggestions from yourself and from the mayor, which we've incorporated in. So hopefully all members of council, as well as the mayor, have a copy of that updated version in your packet for tonight. And Councilwoman Johnson and I are happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Thank you, Councilmember Simmons and Johnson, for your work on this. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council? With no additional questions, Madam Clerk, can you please confirm again if anyone is signed up to speak for the public hearing portion of this agenda item?
We don't have anyone signed up, Madam President.
Thank you. Seeing that there are no speakers signed up, I will open the public hearing portion at 6:38 p.m. and close the public hearing portion at 6:38 p.m. This item will be moved to the second public hearing with possible action on this item for our January 27th in-person meeting at 6 p.m. Moving to agenda item number 10 is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 2-2025, a resolution of the mayor and city council authorizing the purchase of 7701 Old Sandy Spring Road in Laurel, Maryland, for the purpose of acquiring real property for city operations. Mayor Sidnor, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. As we mentioned in the work session, the Park and Recreation Department, 7701 Sandy Spring Road is a vacant house right now. That buying this house can enhance public work overflow and also with DPW as well. And so the house is worth $450,000. We got a bid on the house right now, proven council approval. We can go further. So I make a recommendation to the council that we approve the bid for this house to enhance the Park and Public Works access overflow vehicles along with DPW.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. Are there any questions or comments from the council? I see your hand is raised. Councilmember Simmons, please proceed.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Just want to make a comment. First of all, for residents who also may be watching, we encourage you to look at the work session too. There's lots of useful information we share there. I just want to thank the mayor's office and also those who were on the negotiating team. I know some of the numbers we were originally looking at were higher, and it was good to be able to see that we were able to bring those numbers down a little bit. In my mind, if we were doing north of $750,000 for the property for the expanded lot, that it may not have had, it would have had less bang for the buck, if you will, in terms of for the residents, for the city. But as it's coming to a more achievable number, I think for the city, the investment return is there, given the burgeoning needs of the city on the facility and the unique opportunity that presents. My personal number, just because I'm an accountant, we might, I always want to see it even just a little bit lower, but I think we brought it into a reasonable range, and I wanted to say thank you to the teams that have helped make that possible.
Thank you, Councilmember Simmons. Councilmember Mills, I think I saw your hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to let the constituents know that this is not something that's costing the citizens anything extra. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Mills. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please confirm if there are any speakers signed up for a public hearing?
We don't have anyone signed up, Madam President.
Thank you for confirming. Since there are no speakers signed up, I will open the public hearing portion at 6:41 p.m. and close the public hearing portion at 6:41 p.m. This item will be moved to the second public hearing with possible action for our January 27th in-person meeting at 6 p.m. Well, thank you everyone for your time tonight. We hope to see you at our upcoming city events and for our January 27th in-person meeting at the Laurel Municipal Center at 6 p.m. With no further business to come before the mayor and city council, this meeting is now adjourned at 6:42 p.m. Have a great night.